much. It's 7 after the hour now. More weather coming up a little bit later. George?
Thank you, Tony. You know, at the top of the hour, you heard just a bit of that CD that we really think you're going to remember, not just because of the music, but because of the story behind it. Some of the greatest record executives and producers got behind to produce this album because they believed in the remarkable singer, Josh Clayton-Felt. Here's ABC's Chris Cuomo with a really inspiring story.
This is the song you will not forget from the greatest songwriter you never heard of. From Josh Clayton-Felt's new CD, more than 5 years in the making.
To the crowd, and I keep looking back.
He managed to get it to the place where I think it's now perfect.
But the story of this CD, called Spirit Touches Ground, is unlike any other record industry rags to riches story. If you've ever had a family, friends, or love, if you wonder what it means to never give up, listen to Josh's story.
He loved touring, he loved connecting with people, he loved feeling that he had really reached an audience.
This wasn't Josh's first recording. He had a hit single 10 years ago with the group School of Fish. He opened for Tori Amos and soon had a cult following. Everybody in the music business was listening.
I think the best things that we do as human beings, we're not conscious of. It just happens. And I think that's true of songwriting too, and really anything creative.
Friends saw something special too. They knew he'd make it and even started to follow him around with a documentary film camera.
And I've actually gone through an entire song and changed a lyric, doing it again, sometimes for the better, but sometimes for the worse.
His dog, Kaya, was always with him.
Kaya was really his best friend. Kaya was like his child.
Josh not only wrote the songs he played all the instruments too. He preferred recording in his canyon home rather than a studio.
He was a real fan too. He had an incredible collection of CDs.
He worked on his second solo CD. That was when the trouble began. His record company wasn't ready to release it. They wanted a hit single. They wouldn't release the CD without it.
And he would get really frustrated because he would think, you know, what's the definition of a hit? I mean, you don't really know, and why does it have to be a hit? Why can't everything just be good?
The setback was really bad. There was once I remember he could almost not speak out of, I think, tension.
Won't you take this weight up off my back?
In the mega merger between Universal and Polygram Records in 1998, more than 200 artists were dropped. Josh Clayton-Felt was one of them. Worse, he lost the rights to his pet project and he couldn't re-record it anywhere else for 5 years. But he kept working on it anyway, at home. Sad and struggling already, Josh was about to be hit with the worst blow imaginable.
It turns out a week after he finishes recording the album that he is diagnosed with cancer.
Testicular cancer. It struck quickly. In just a few weeks, the cancer spread.
The night before he went into intensive care, he said, "Do you think I'm gonna die?"
Josh fell into a coma. When the record company found out, they released the rights to the CD back to his family, and they whispered the news into Josh's ear.
We did get the rights back. We did tell him, and we're hoping that he heard.
On January 19th, 2000, he was gone, just 32.
I'm sad that he's not here. I'd love to put my arms around him and just touch his curly hair and hug him tight.
Yeah, and you miss your daddy, and I miss your daddy, and we all miss your daddy.
While the singer and musician is gone, the songs remain. The CD's arrival today means to all who loved him that Josh's work will finally find its listeners.
I just felt that his work needed to continue to be heard, and we really were excited about releasing the record.
'Cause I've missed you so much that now I just keep you inside. I hold your hand.
And remember that hit single his record company wanted so badly?
He put the headphones on my ears. He said, "This is going to be my hit single."
Just before he died, Josh recorded it one last time, tinkering to the very end. It's called Building Atlantis. It's about spirit and survival.
It's a song about bringing people together, about building a dream.
For Josh and for those who love him, listen.
while the rest of the world was drowning around us. Oh, we were building Atlantis. Of all the pieces I've lost, only you fit, 'cause we were building Atlantis.
It's easy to see why he was loved by so many. You can find out more about Josh Clayton-Felt's music on abcnews.com. And we'll be right back.